Academic writing differs from most types of writing. The context of academic writing is evident in the types of texts employed. Academic writing is mainly about analysis, evaluation, description, and synthesis. All these forms require a critical approach to writing. In this unit, we are going to look at the structure of an argumentative essay. We are also going to demonstrate how to write an argumentative essay. By the end of the unit, you should be able to write your own argumentative essay. There are certain features of academic writing that set it apart from all the other types of writing. Academic writing is objective. That means it uses the passive form of the verb. It is an impersonal form of writing and focuses on the subject and not the writer. Academic writing is formal, that is, no contractions are used. Slang and colloquialisms are also not used. Academic writing also uses hedging in the form of quantifiers such as few, some, many, the majority, and so on. Hedging also involves the use of adverbs or adverbial phrases, words such as occasionally, usually. It also uses modal verbs such as can, would, could, may. Academic writing also uses subordination. You can check my video on coordination and subordination for more information. Subordination involves the use of linking words such as because, since, whereas, while, and so on. Academic writing is also characterized by high lexical density. Lexical density refers to a measure of how informative a text is. So the more content words you have in a text, the more informative a text is. So it will score a higher percentage in terms of density. Academic writing also uses nominalization, which is also called nouning, where adjectives and verbs are used as nouns. Nominalization is a word formation process where parts of speech that are not nouns function as nouns in a sentence. And academic writing / scientific writing uses quite a lot of these in written texts. A typical form of academic writing is the argumentative essay. An argument is a process of persuasion, an attempt to change the minds of people through a well-reasoned discussion. There are certain terms that are associated with an argumentative essay which every writer should be familiar with. First of all, there's a context. The context is the issue that is being discussed, or the summary of the argument, or the mistaken position that the writer wishes to correct. There is also a thesis or a claim which should be debatable. A claim is a statement or a position that a writer takes. There are three types of claims that a writer can take depending on the nature of the issue. There is a claim of fact, which addresses questions such as, does X exist? Does X lead to Y? Or how can we define X? There are also claims of value, which discuss issues based on a certain criteria. And the worth and value of that subject or position is judged by the criteria. Some questions of value include, what is the worth of Y? A typical example would be, Zambia is the greatest country in Africa. That is a question or statement of value which must be proved or judged by a certain criteria. There are also claims of policy. These take the form of what action is needed to move forward, or what action should we take on this issue. So a claim, therefore, should be debatable. An argumentative essay should also have transitions, that is, linking words, which help the writer and the reader to navigate through the document. These words, such as however, moreover, consequently, because of, and many other transition words depending on the structure of the argument. An argumentative essay should also have evidence in the form of citations, interpretations, examples, and explanations. Another core aspect of an argumentative essay is the counter-argument and refutation. A counter-argument is against your position. It is against the main argument. The refutation is the response that you as the writer give to the counter-argument to show that the counter-argument is false or it is incorrect. Before the writer gives the refutation, there is need for a concession. This is a sentence or two which acknowledge that there could be some truth in the counter-argument. So when a counter-argument is given, the writer should also concede to a certain extent by acknowledging some level of truth in the statement given by the opposing viewpoint. But the refutation now should provide evidence showing that the counter-argument is false, or it's misleading, or it is incorrect. Lastly, an argumentative essay should have a conclusion. An argumentative essay, just like any other essay, can be structured into three main parts: the introduction, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. In the introduction, there will be a hook, that is the question or the definition or the statistic that the writer will use to catch the attention of the reader. An example of a hook: what really counts as a good school? The second item in the introduction of an argumentative essay is background. Why is this issue important? Example: lack of a good education reduces one's ability to participate in the politics, the economy, and even in the community that a person belongs to. The third item that should be in the introduction of the argumentative essay is the thesis statement or the claim. The claim tells the reader your position or point of view on the subject. For example, choosing a school is an important but difficult decision. But my school provides answers to these difficult decisions. So the introductory paragraph of your argumentative essay then should have these three things which set the context of the argument and the discussion. In the body paragraph, you will have the main idea, which we call the topic sentence for each paragraph. For example, my school is the best. That is the topic sentence. Then we have to provide facts or evidence or reasons or an explanation of why the school is the best. For example, it is affordable because it receives funding to improve the infrastructure and the quality of teachers. That is a fact. which is supporting the topic sentence that my school is the best. But there must be an explanation given to that fact now, evidence or reasons. For example, there are new laboratories and all classrooms are equipped with air cons and Wi-Fi. Additionally, all books in the library are less than 10 years old and the sports facilities host international tournaments. Research shows that well-resourced holistic schools improve learners' engagement. So in the body paragraph, the topic sentence is given, the fact which supports the topic sentence is given, and then the evidence or the explanation or the reasons for that particular statement are advanced. In the next body paragraph, we see the introduction of the counter-argument. Some argue that the school discriminates against people with disabilities. For example, there is no disability policy in its operational documents. The concession to the counter-argument will be as follows. Although the school does not have a written disability policy, the facilities are user-friendly to all types of learners. As a matter of fact, the school even provides a scholarship fund for 10 students with disabilities every year. So the concession there is that the writer acknowledges that there is some truth in what the counter-argument is advancing. Although the school does not have a written disability policy, the writer acknowledges that. The writer now goes on to give the refutation and say, the facilities are user-friendly to all types of learners. The writer now further continues the refutation by indicating that as a matter of fact, the school even provides a scholarship fund for 10 students every year. The last section of an argumentative essay, like any other essay, is the conclusion, where the main idea or the claim or the position that the writer has taken is restated. So the thesis statement is restated. And emphasis is placed on the position that the writer has taken. In some cases, a warning or a prediction is given in light of the facts or arguments that have been advanced in the document or in the discussion. Here is another example that shows an argumentative paragraph. The argument. There is no need for Zambians to go abroad to find employment. The counter-argument. Some argue that if Zambians don't go abroad, then Zambia will not be integrated in the global economy. Concession. Although it is true that Zambia may not be integrated in the global economy, the refutation now follows. Evidence shows that there are other ways through which a country can be integrated in the global economy other than through labor migration. A final example of an argumentative paragraph. Topic sentence or claim. My house is equipped with state-of-the-art technology. Reasons or explanations or supporting detail. There are CCTV cameras all around the house to deter would-be criminals. The lights and water taps are operated using a voice recognition system. In addition, doors can only be opened using a combination of my fingerprints and my eyes. Here's the counter-argument. While some argue that this kind of expense is unnecessary, the refutation follows. The technology in my house makes life easier, fun, and more secure. Writing an argumentative essay is therefore an important part of a student's academic journey, and the structures of analysis, evaluation, synthesis, and description are common in academic writing, and students are requested and required in most cases to use those particular structures. Most essays in academic writing will require you to take a certain position on an issue. So it is important to master the format of the argumentative structure so that you are able to defend whatever position you take.